Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Roger and Ingle Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. We've got another interesting program for you again, as usual. This week, I'm smiling, Roger, because Chelsea won early today. So,
I noticed it. Good morning, everyone. It's such a wonderful way to start your day. Your team having a victory.
yeah, they had a victory and maybe temporarily, but they're up to third place, but we'll see how far along.
You know what?
Um,
It's a solid team, so you have a lot to celebrate and a lot to smile about.
Yeah, I watched a bit of the game early this morning and I was quite
Yes,
pleased. But you'll talk about soccer a bit later on,
yes.
so I don't want to talk too much about that now. I'll let you get into it later. And yeah, we're back with some basketballs going on for Formula One, some tennis, some golf. But we're gonna start with some Formula One because they're back again this week at it, and Russell has taken the Vegas pole.
Yeah, so they're in Vegas, actually.
Yeah,
No better place than Vegas to go driving. But yeah, it started off with the first two rounds going to Hamilton, actually.
yeah, and then
Then
it's
he had a bad round
bad
yesterday,
qualifying, yeah.
qualifying, and now he's 10th, while his teammate Russell is number one. So I don't know. It looks like the Mercedes is coming for Vegas. It looks that way because they're looking great this weekend.
Yeah, they
Russell's
look
on
great.
top. Russell's on top, and Verstappen is actually fifth.
Yeah, he's fifth. A bit of a surprise there.
Uh,
He's not even the. You got Sainz, Pierre Gasly. Norris
yes,
is behind but Verstappen.
yes.
Sixth
But yeah,
place.
Verstappen was complaining about it felt like driving on ice. So I don't
Yes,
know. It's
yeah.
Vegas. That is supposed to be one of the hottest places in the world. So I wasn't sure what he's talking about. But yeah, I guess
But
I don't know.
the track looked very smooth. I was looking at some of the
Yes, it was.
practices and it looks very, very smooth. So maybe that's what it means. It's a bit too slick or something. But
That's what he's
yeah,
trying to say. Yeah, that's what he's trying to
um,
say.
Hamilton has usually looked good in the practice, but then when it came to the
Qualified.
qualifying,
Yeah.
yeah, he says, he's not making a fuss anymore. I think
No,
he's resigned
no.
to the fact that, just three more races and then he's
Yes.
gone.
Yeah, he complained that he didn't even feel like coming back after Brazil's race in Sao Paulo,
Mhm.
and but he says now he still loves driving for Mercedes and will give everything he has in the final races. So I think he's trying to say the right thing, but I started to get the feeling that he's probably checked out.
Yeah, he's probably checked out, and I don't think he's not going to push himself more than he has to, but
That's yeah.
yeah,
And I mean, with Norris in sixth and Verstappen in fifth, it looks like an interesting. But in my opinion, Verstappen has already won the championship, so it
yeah,
may be an exciting race between the two of them. But and Norris said he's going to do everything he can to win, so he's not going to stop. He's going to try everything he can, which is awesome. But I think it's a too high a hill for him to climb.
yeah. I think so. I think it's too much for him to get down. That's basically they have to say that to make it interesting, but
There you go.
I don't think anybody he'll be able to catch
No,
Verstappen.
it's a slim chance. It would mean that Verstappen has to disappear into thin air, and
Yeah,
then he may have a shot. No matter what he does, as long as Verstappen performs even mediocrely,
yeah,
um,
he
he's
will
going to
be
get through
for sure. Yeah, so we'll follow that race. I think it comes tonight, is it? Or tomorrow night? Is it
tomorrow. I think it's
tomorrow?
tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Just sort of, yeah, I just looked, yeah. One of the things that and not anything else on racing you want to talk about because
No. I think that's it. It should be an exciting race. I think, although the season is technically over in terms of who's going to win, in my opinion, I think this year is a much better year for F1 because we still have a lot of interest in it, although it's sort of decided, but it's still close, it's still exciting, things are still happening compared to the last couple of years where it was just a one-man show.
yeah, it was definitely it was a little better this time around.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. Something I want to talk about that we don't talk a lot about, but some boxing. I'm not sure if you're able to watch the fight.
It
Some,
wasn't a fight. You mean the Tyson and Jake Paul?
yeah.
It wasn't a fight. It was two guys hanging out in the ring.
Yeah, two guys hanging in the ring for real. And We spoke about it last week
last
there a
week.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking that it was Saturday, but it was
No,
Friday.
it was the week before. But I mean, Jake Paul has since done an interview where
Hmm.
he said, yeah, he took it easy on Mike in the last round. So some people weren't happy about that at all because he's just supposed to be fighting. And he's
There's
saying,
all,
yeah, he took it easy.
yeah, and there's all sorts of accusations because some people are saying there was stipulations that Tyson not to use his uppercut and all this stuff.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I saw that he was told not to use his uppercut. He had restrictions because it was Jake Paul's fight basically, so he had all these rules
Ah,
for the
okay.
fight. Yeah,
So
but
we all got scammed.
we all got scammed. It looked like, but look, and then how I don't know if it's fake news or real news, but then this week I saw something where Holyfield is saying he would like to fight Tyson again, but if that is true, that then boxing is dead.
The geriatric fight.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I'd even want to see that, but
No,
it
no
would be
one.
interesting to see if he tried to bite his ears again.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would want to see that fight either. So I believe no, I think it's probably because I saw something since that now saying that Holyfield finally gives up on trilogy with Mike Tyson. So
Oh, really?
so this
I
is
think
not
they
gonna
need to
come back.
just let things be. I don't think that that fight would make a lot of. It may make. I don't even know. It may make money though. I don't know. Maybe if promoted properly.
If promoted properly, it may make money because
Yeah.
everybody's now anxious to see anything. And
Apparently, nothing is going on in the ring. Apparently.
no, the fights are not the boxers today are not that great. It seems like
No,
so.
no, not nobody electric or exciting to watch.
Yeah,
Growing up, we had like Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Fraser, Foreman. You always had something to look forward to. Even when Lennox Lewis was up there, you had
yeah,
something to look forward to. Tyson. So, but now it's like, who do you watch?
yeah. That's what seems to be the problem nowadays.
Yeah,
So boxing is certainly not what it used to be.
certainly not. And I think it wants to make a comeback. So who knows?
Yeah,
Never say never these days. That's one
no,
thing for sure.
that's for sure. One of the things, other things I want to talk about is the tennis, because tennis world said goodbye to a great player this week,
Yep,
one of the greatest ever.
Mr. Nadal said enough is enough. I mean, he was playing Davis Cup and they lost. He lost, and
Yeah,
Spain
yeah,
lost. And yeah, he said bye bye. But it was very emotional for him. It was tough. I mean, you could see that he really wanted to go on, but his
hmm
body's saying enough. Just stop here. And he did the right thing, but it was very tough for him. But talk about greatness. I
yeah,
wasn't a huge fan initially. Maybe still not a huge fan, but I think he's definitely one of the greatest ever for sure, without a doubt. I mean, I've always enjoyed watching Roger Federer, even to some extent Djokovic, but Nadal, I know his game just didn't excite me, but he was very tough. 110%, always very tough. So one of the greatest ever, and he owned that French. He owned the French title. I want to say 11 times? I can't remember. We lost
I
count.
think probably 11 or 12 times. Yeah, that's quite what was just his.
That's his. He owned that place, man. And no matter how bad it was, he always found a way to win. Always.
Yeah, and I
Absolutely.
feel the same way about you. I wasn't a big fan initially, but then it just grew on me how good he was,
Yes, yes.
and I,
Yeah, he forced you to like to like him.
yes, and I think I wasn't a fan because Federer was my favorite at the
Yeah, there you go. Same
time.
here. And like, when is Federer gonna beat this guy in France?
Yeah,
Kept saying that. And then he went and even beat Federer in Wimbledon. So he's great.
yeah, he's been a great player, and yeah, he's very good, and sad to see him go, but good things come to an end. He
He
had a
does.
stellar career, 22 Grand Slams,
Yeah, yeah. Right
tied
at the top there. And
tied with
24 is the top, and he's at 22, so it doesn't get closer than that.
yeah, he's been tied with Djokovic in the men's side, and
Yeah.
Djokovic still trying to get that extra two.
I
But
think he's gonna stop soon too. I mean, he's pulling out often these days,
often, yeah,
and certainly not winning as much as before either.
right. Looks like he had 13 actually. French Open,
French, yeah, it was, yeah.
just yeah, just dominated there for sure.
He
So it's,
certainly did. He
yes,
certainly did.
just sorry to see him go, but it's just so nice for the, I guess, the young stars now to take over. The Sinners, well, Sinners still have a case, but he's been
Yeah,
winning.
he's been winning, and I mean, as you mentioned, he actually won the ATP finals recently.
Yes, he just did
So
one. Yeah.
yeah, so he's still on a roll, although he has an asterisk over his head now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still on a good roll.
Yeah, he's been on a roll, and that asterisk. And I watched some of the ATP finals, and he looked pretty. He just looks unbeatable when he's on his top of his game.
I
But
totally agree. I totally agree.
yeah, I thought that was going to be Alcaraz, but Sinner seemed to have stepped up.
I still believe it's going to be Alcaraz, but you're absolutely right. I think Sinner now, but I still believe Alcaraz is better than him. He just needs to get his consistency down.
Yes, definitely. Anything on the women's side?
Yeah, so they had the Women's Billie Jean Cup, I think it's called now,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it was Italy, right?
Yes.
Finding a way to win. So Pauline took them there. So congrats to them. That was really awesome to see.
I think did she win the Olympics as well?
Yes,
Yeah. So she's
so
got two big wins.
he's on a nice little roll.
Yeah.
On the men's side at the Davis Cup, though, Canada, they got swept by Germany.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have the Netherlands in the finals, waiting to see if Italy with Sinner is going to meet them there. So looking forward to. I don't think the Netherlands is going to trouble Italy if they get there, but we'll see. You never say never, as I mentioned.
That's true. You can never say never. But anything can happen. In team sports, a little different. They seem
It
to
is.
the
It is.
energy is different. The people are played different when they're playing those things. But but you definitely want to give the edge to Italy for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And you're absolutely right about it. You have some guys, and I usually go back to track and field. You put them in an individual race, they never perform. You put them on a relay, they're the greatest. And you have some guys who are the opposite. So everybody reacts a little differently to team sports. Some people can get locked in when they are an individual and they can't get themselves up when they're on a team. But yeah, this is a team competition. And you may be the greatest player because I didn't think Nadal would have lost this game, but he did, right?
He did, yeah.
So it's different when some people are playing for their team.
Yeah,
Gets them going.
yeah. Anything else on tennis before we move on?
Yeah, no, nothing more in tennis.
What do you want to speak about? We
Yeah,
missed it last week actually, the Grey Cup.
I was just about to mention that. Argos!
That was up one, the Grey Cup, yeah, and they had their
It was,
celebrations on Tuesday.
yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, it's the second time I'm going up against Winnipeg in the last 3 years, and both times they beat them.
How Winnipeg did, I think 3 straight losses in Grey Cup.
Something like, yeah. They dominated the regular season for the last few years, and look at them now. They can't figure out how to win the finals.
And Argos did it with a backup quarterback.
The MVP, so
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even think he'd be starting and playing.
exactly.
MVP.
And it goes back to that whole team sport thing. He got thrusted into this position where he had to perform, and he stepped up for the team.
In Abakel, he had 26 of 37,
Yeah,
252 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wow.
you can't ask for more in the finals.
Yeah, great game for him. And
Awesome game. Awesome game. I'm happy for them, though. I think they keep saying, when is our Toronto team going to win something? But Argos have won twice in the last 3 years, and people don't talk about it because they're not the Blue Jays or the Maple Leafs or even the Raptors. But they've been winning.
They went to the Maple Leafs game, so maybe and they took the trophy with them, so maybe there's be some inspiration there.
Yeah, maybe.
But we always say since the 60s, I guess, we've been saying this is our year for Maple Leafs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not happening. But congratulations to the Argos, and they had their celebration. They had to do it but quickly because, with downtown Toronto, right, it's just swifty.
You mean with Taylor Swift coming around?
Yeah,
They had other priorities?
yeah. I mean, rename streets and everything. So you
Yeah.
probably drive down. I don't know. I know you work downtown, so you probably drive on Taylor Swift Way sometimes.
Taylor Swift way. I'm now a Swiftie officially.
Super.
driving on the Taylor Swift way.
Yeah.
But no, I think it was a little disappointing that they didn't get a huge crowd
Mm-hmm.
for their celebration. It was
And,
almost muted, but it's a little sad because it's a Toronto team and it's a Canadian sport, and nothing in Canada it's a huge thing, or it should be a huge thing. If it was in Saskatchewan or in Winnipeg, it would have been a massive thing over there.
massive, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just I was disappointed with the crowd too. It should have been much bigger, and maybe because it was on a Tuesday, rushed right after the thing.
I
But
don't
still,
know.
no excuses. People should have gone out
It would
there.
have gone exactly,
Went to the team.
exactly. I can't even remember what day the Raptors celebration was, but I was there. The whole world was there almost.
Yeah, I mean, I was downtown. I mean, I don't normally
Yeah,
go to those things, but I did go.
there you
So, yeah.
go. There you go. So if it's important to you, you'll find a way. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Canadian football is a little different from the NFL, and there's a huge crowd for the NFL. But give them their dues. I mean, they've done a fantastic job. Winning twice in the last 3 years is not an easy task. So kudos to them.
Yeah, kudos to them. And as you talk about NFL, wow, Cleveland and Pittsburgh in the snow. It's Thursday night. When I was watching that game, I said, no, no, no.
I know. I know. I wanted Pittsburgh to win, but it wasn't their weather
It
apparently.
wasn't there. I think, I mean, 8 and 2, one team was 8 and 2, the other 2 and 8 was the odds. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Odds doesn't matter because you know what, the weather is the leveler. Everybody is on a different thing now, so it takes away any advantage you had before coming into the game.
yeah, it was so much snow that, yeah, it just looked like oh, the heart of winter. I mean, I was looking at it, I'm thinking, like, we have so much greenery here.
I
And
know.
look at this. And it's not too far from us. Cleveland is not
It's
that
6 hours drive, so I mean, if you really think about it, it's like, okay, is this coming our way sometime, or what's going on
far.
here? I don't think a lot
Yeah,
of snow.
yeah, well, we've been lucky so far. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Stay away as long as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, and then Buffalo handed the Chiefs their first loss.
Yeah, well, I think I did call it last week that I
Yeah,
think,
you did.
yeah, they're gonna lose that game, and you could see it coming. I think the Chiefs, they needed to I think they need to reset. I think this is good for them actually.
Yeah, I think so. You don't want to go to the season beaten and feeling too confident and then lose at the wrong time.
And they're
So
on, yeah, yeah, started like the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So
yes, so the reset is probably good for
it's
them.
probably good for them, and I think it showed up. I think where their weaknesses are, and yeah, their offense all year I've been saying they haven't clicked the way I think they should be clicking. So I think they're gonna have to spend some time fixing that to be more smooth. If you notice, Kelsey was hardly in the game in terms of catches and all of that. He did a lot of blocking, but so yeah, they have weapons that I think they're gonna start going for now as they go down the home stretch.
Yes, they will definitely. Yeah. So anything else on the NFL you want to talk about, or any other
No,
sport?
no more for the NFL.
Any other sport you want to touch on
Just a
before
quick basketball touch.
NBA? Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so well, first of all, Spurs head coach, San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich, he had a recent stroke, so he's expected to make
I
a full
like that.
recovery. One of the nicest, greatest guys you can ever think of out there. Speaks his mind, and great coach, great person. So wish him all the best on his
Hmm.
recovery from
Yeah.
his stroke. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is that the Cavaliers, they somehow finally lost the game.
Yeah. They lost to was it? Yeah, they lost in Miami. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Who's on a nice
Yeah.
little roll now? So
Yeah.
it was like, okay, come back down to earth, please.
Yeah. It come back down and they lost and then they went back on a slight two-win streak again after that.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. Let's see how far they can go now.
well,
But I think it's going to be a little harder for them to keep winning all the time now.
yes. And
As a lot of teams are getting into their rhythm. So yeah, things are going to be changing soon. Even the Raptors, they're winning games now.
yeah, they're back winning.
They have a little winning streak going, 2 games. But it's good to see. They battled well, I think, the last 2 games. So maybe they're turning the corner too. But it's hard for me to think that the Raptors are going to go far this year. I just don't see them going very far. But I mean, I saw Philadelphia going very far, and I don't know where they are right now. So can't say much until it happens.
Yeah, that's true. The other thing I was reading, which I mean, it's basketball, but then it also does with the rapper. They're talking about Kendrick Lamar releasing an album is a good news for the Golden State because every time he released an album, they won the championship. So if you believe in
What a
something,
correlation. Okay, let's
he's on
send
his
out an album and your team is going to win.
yeah. The dynastic run began a decade ago when he had an album release, and every time he did in 2040, they won. So now he's done it in 24. They're hoping the trend continues.
You know what? I think that's a lot of hope. I'm not saying they can't win, but it's certainly an uphill task.
It is an uphill task, although they are ahead of the Western Conference at the moment.
For
Yeah,
now,
well,
they've come out better than they've had over the last few years. So I'm happy to see that. It's a great team to watch all the time.
mhm.
But I think competition-wise, it's going to be very, very tough for them to go to the finals this year.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, they've got a good 12-3 lead so far, 12-3
Yeah,
start. But
yeah.
that's just the start. We have to see if they can sustain it.
As I always say, after the NBA,
Yes, after the All-Star game.
after the NBA All Stars, buddy, that's when we know who's on a roll, who's going somewhere. And
That's so
I
true.
think that we're going to see different teams than what we see now. I don't think it's going to be Cleveland and Golden State that are going to be running the
Definitely.
show after the All Star break.
No, I don't. I agree with you. I don't believe it's going to be them. But for now, they are enjoying what
Yes,
their runs.
and it's good for them. It's really great for them.
It is. So you're listening to the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. Roger, we can get into some cricket, and we can either start with the West Indies, or let's start with your home country, Jamaica. Surprise finalist, I guess we could
You
say.
know what? It put a smile on my face whenever I think about it because, well, I started high school with Robert Haynes, right?
Mhm.
So we started at the same school, same time. So I'm really, really happy for him. But I think he transformed the team. I
Yes,
think he got them mentally where they needed to be, and I don't think they had that before. And he's brought in some young blood who have stepped up. Who's Javier Glenn scoring a
exactly.
century?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
where did he come from?
yeah, he started cricket late. He had a bit. He's been in and out of the franchise team.
Yes, yes,
He had a couple of stints with CPL, but nothing consistent. And
nothing to write home about for
yeah,
sure.
and I think he had moved to the US and then he went back to Jamaica.
Yep,
And what a fantastic time to score 100. I mean,
100.
it was a
It's
great
like,
innings to watch.
whoa, where
Yeah,
did this one come from?
yeah. And he was actually more selected as a bowler.
Yes.
And he played the innings of his life. And I think that's what's given him so much confidence.
Oh, okay, I talked to him now, man. But yeah, he's bouncing off the walls, I believe. And
He is.
John Campbell has stepped up. I really appreciate what he has done coming from a long layoff like that.
Hmm.
So he got in the 70s as well. So it was really, really good to see. The 350 is no joke in a 50 over game, right?
I mean, especially after where they were, you didn't even think they'll get close to 200. You thought 200,
It would be
210
out of
maybe.
exactly.
There were there were seven for 138.
Yeah. And then Glenn
And
stepped up and hit
Glenn
some
stepped
sixes for
up.
them.
And Royal as well had a
Yeah,
century.
Javier Royal as well. Yeah, yeah. So the
So,
tail, as I said, the tail was wagging.
and yeah, I'm happy to see McKenna made the fast bowler bowling well
Yeah.
again. He had
Yes.
5 wickets in that game. And Franklin Rose, who's a friend of mine, former West Indies Jamaica player,
Yes, I know.
he's he's been asking questions on social media like why we have Jamaican coaches and stuff on the staff batting, and no Jamaican can get into the West Indies team. So he's asking what happened to Mackenzie and
Mainly.
Markin Minley. He said Minley is better than some of the fast bowlers who have been selected.
I think he is, but I think he has been injured a bit and inconsistent as well. When he's on his game, I think he should have given it. I think he deserves a shot, to be truthful.
Yes,
Mackenzie, I don't know.
he's been up and down, Mackenzie.
I
He's
think
not
he's been more
consistent.
down than up.
Yeah, he had 48 in this game, but still,
Yeah,
he's not that consistent. He
no.
had quite a few chances actually.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
that,
yes. So,
but
but yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to say that. I mean, if you don't have Jamaicans or Bajans in the team, it's a big conversation.
yeah,
Those
and
two countries always have big names on it. Right now, it's just Brandon King from a Jamaican point of view that's there.
right. Someone actually mentioned to Franklin that Brandon King could make the team, but he's not interested in Test cricket. So
Okay.
I just wondered though if Franklin now realizes he want to get back into cricket somehow and now put himself out there because he's speaking up more than now.
Before, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he was quiet for a long time.
he's been quiet for a long time, but now he's out there saying things. And Franklin was one of the better bowlers in West Indies
He
cricket for
definitely
a while.
was. He was.
Good swing and pace. Actually, I had the privilege of playing a couple of seasons here with him in Canada. He came here
Oh,
to
okay.
play, so he played with my club.
Oh, very good, very good. He's
And
an excellent bowler.
very excellent guy. He actually hit me on the helmet in the nets one.
He came
But
after you, Ingle.
yeah, he actually came down, bowled from about 17 yards and bowled a bounce at me. He got angry because I was hitting him in the nets, and he just came
He
down.
came after you.
Yeah, he came after me.
He had to settle you down.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's fun to laugh at it now, but I'm pretty sure when you saw that ball coming at your head, you were not laughing.
No, it was funny. Funny though, I was batting without an helmet in the nets, and then something I just told him hold on, and then I took my helmet and put it on, and the very next ball hit me in the helmet because he just
Oh,
you can see the anger building up on it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, but competitiveness was good in the nets with those days with those
That's
guys.
how it's supposed to be, in my opinion. That's where you see the
Yeah,
real strength of a player comes out, when it's competitive in the nets.
yes, for sure. So yeah, so Franklin, yeah, he's good to see he's back around talking. From time to time, I talk to him, and
Oh, good,
yeah,
good,
he's in touch. So it's
good
good to
bowler.
see him. Very good player. Yeah, but what's still Jamaica and Barbados today in the finals, Roger. Who you have? Do I have to ask you that?
Yeah, I'm gonna go sentimentally. I think the Bajans probably have a better shot when I go from the head, but I think from the heart it's gonna be Jamaica. I'll be happy for the team to win here, and I think they have enough. We need Blackwood to show up. We need Mackenzie to show up. We need Campbell to show up, and Minley to show up, and Royal to show up, and then yeah, we have a shot.
I think they have a shot, and the reason, one of my main reasons thinking they have a good shot too, because the so-called star players for Barbados have failed, and they've gone to play in the franchise leagues. The
They ran for
captain,
the money.
yes, so there's a pretty new
Okay,
Barbados team playing in this finals, and
okay.
you got
Jamaica has even bigger shot than I thought.
they do because you have Reefer batting at number three. Reefer is actually captain in the team now.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yes,
okay,
because Kyle Mayers has gone off to the Abu Dhabi T10.
okay. I thought Mears was gonna be there. Okay,
Some players are gone, and even Ross and Chase, who played a couple of games, he's not there anymore.
okay.
So it's a new team. I think there's a Naeem Young. If I'm not mistaken, Naeem Young could be Jamaican, isn't he?
Which one? Young?
Yeah, Naeem Young. He's not definitely not Bajan, I don't
Asian?
think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's Jamaican though.
Yeah, but so it's a new team actually. That's
Interesting.
that's
Well,
playing.
go John Campbell and the Scorpions.
Yes, you just hope that yeah, Young is definitely he's played for Barbados, Bajan, but yeah, he's on West Indies under 19 player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely not good. They should see out the season and then
That's what I
never.
thought. I mean, I'm surprised to see you get to the finals and then you run away. It's like,
Yeah,
where does that come from? I mean,
it's the
I'm,
dollars. It's the dollars.
it is, but you gotta have some patriotism too. You really
Ex-
hope, right?
Exactly. You can play the final and then go off
Yeah.
to the. In fact, Royston Chase played in the semifinals, so he should be there. Royston should be there.
Okay.
But yeah, but a whole bunch of players have just gone off to the
Yeah, that's
franchise leagues.
unfortunate. What type of message does that send to your country and to cricket in the Caribbean?
Yeah, I was watching the game and there were some players playing for Barbados, and thinking, don't believe they expected a call up. They didn't look too fit.
They're
There's a
pulling
guy.
them out of the woodworks.
Yeah, there's a Matthew Jones who I've never heard of before.
Yeah, I've never heard that name.
Yeah, he's a left-arm bowler. He bowled pretty okay. And Kemar Smith, another off spinner. Haven't heard those two, and those two they're playing for Barbados. So maybe they'll make the best use of the opportunity.
Usually that's what happens because nobody has any history to go back to look up to see who they are, what they do. So everything is going to be a surprise to the person they're facing.
That's the thing, yeah. And Matthews, actually Jones looked actually pretty good.
Ah,
Yeah. So well, final goes today in about an hour and a half
yeah,
for those
yeah.
fans who want to watch the game. And disappointment for me is the crowds. I know when the people are not
You
going out to
haven't,
watch the game.
and I think just looking back to the statement that you have made that the top players are just going to other leagues when the finals is coming up. So why, as a fan, would I even want to show up if the players who's supposed to love this game and want to represent their country don't take it serious enough to show up? Why would I show up to watch?
Yeah, it's really none makes sense at all. In fact, I'm looking here at Matthew Jones. It looks like he was born in England,
Oh,
and so maybe that's why we haven't heard much about
oh
him. He's 36 years old. Yeah, he's
boy,
born. Yeah, he's born in Glamorgan, prior to Glamorgan,
yeah,
1988. So maybe that's why we haven't heard much of him. So he
yeah.
probably have Barbados roots and decided he wanted to come
Want to
and
come
try and
down?
yeah, catch his opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm disappointed for the crowds, I must say. Um, Cricket in the Caribbean is a jolt to get people back to the game.
Yeah, they do. And let's hope that something will happen. And even we can now, if there's nothing else you want to talk about the Super 50, except for I'm going to go with Jamaica myself. I think they've got a better combination.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I expect the experienced players. Happy to see Campbell back doing well, as you said. And
Yes, yes.
I think this I will give them the edge. So,
Yeah, they do. If guys have taken off, but again, it's still a final, so sometimes nerves come into this. But I think, as you rightly said, Jamaica has better experience based on who's on the field, and they have a great shot.
yeah, they do have a great shot. So, yeah, so we will continue and see how they're doing. And
Yeah.
just looked up who's Kemar Smith also. He's the brother of Dwayne Smith, the former West Indies player.
Oh, he's his brother. Okay, yeah, I know
Uh,
Dwayne.
yeah, so that's his brother. So he's playing his 12th list day match. So he's been around
Okay.
a little bit, but nothing great. 16 wickets, so not too bad.
I've done
And
well.
yeah, he's done well whenever he had a chance. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah.
now it's time for him to shine.
Hopefully not for my sake.
Not for Jamaica's sake.
I gotta get my picks right. So
Yeah,
no
that's true.
commercial for me today.
That's true. But yes, going on to the Test cricket now, the West Indies. West Indies playing Bangladesh in
Yes.
Antigua again. You can say the same thing. There's no crowd. Actually, one of my friends called me yesterday and he says, "Where the game's been played?"
Yes.
I said, "In Antigua." He asked me if I'm sure. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Why am I only seeing white people in the crowd?"
There you go.
I
Same
said,
thing like yeah, the
"I
English
said the
tourists.
tourists are there."
Yeah,
So the English people are going and supporting, and the locals are not supporting.
I'm not supporting.
Yeah,
Something is wrong when that happens, right?
yeah,
And I
definitely. And
think, going back to why Jamaica didn't apply for one of the games in the T20 World Cup was because of that.
yeah,
Were just not showing up, although I think for that tourists would have come and probably people locally would have shown up as well. But in general, the Caribbean people are not showing up to watch cricket.
and it's disappointing too because especially yesterday was a significant day, and there was a big push for to make everybody come out to celebrate. It was the 50th anniversary of Sir Viv Richards and Gordon Greenwich making their debut for West Indies, and
Yes,
Sir Viv Richards playing at his stadium. I mean, Antigua did a lot of marketing, hoping people will come
will
out
come
and
on that.
support. I mean, we might see something on the weekend, but for sure, certainly yesterday was the day, the
Yeah,
22nd of November, when he made his debut in India,
there you
and
go.
it wasn't as successful as they thought it would be. But I'm talking about marketing. I see Jamaica is hosting a second test, doing a lot of marketing as well.
They're
Trying to,
trying, yeah, yeah, and they're gonna try and make it a party. So even if you don't come to watch the game, you come to party and you'll be in the stadium still. So
Yes, they're doing that, and they're actually using a lot of young people to push the marketing, the
you have to.
promotion. Yeah,
They're the ones that can generate crowds, right?
yeah.
The
So
young people. So they're trying. Hopefully it works.
yes, hopefully, definitely work. But to get on to the cricket itself, West Indies in a bit of trouble yesterday because the captain Craig Bradford going through his his recent poor form,
I noticed.
and
I
he only
noticed.
scored four. And at one point, West Indies looked in trouble at 25 for two when Casey Catley looked so nervous and got out for a duck.
I was confused by what happened. He looked like a great player a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and then he was like he was shaking
Yeah.
yesterday.
I
I was
mean,
wondering.
I never got that. You play England and you made a cent, and it's like, what happened here?
Test cricket is test. I guess that's why they call it Test cricket.
The guy
Test
looked
it.
nervous. It's
Be
like,
very,
what?
very. Yeah, even just walking out, he didn't look like he was
He
ready
wasn't
to
there
play.
mentally. He
Yeah,
wasn't there at all.
yeah, and then a bit of recovery for West Indies after that with Hodge and Louis, and Hodge got run out himself, I think, for 25. There was no two runs in that one that he tried to
Yeah,
take, and
yeah.
then big disappointment for Louis and Athanaze, who revived the innings with a 150 runs, still 100.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was 97 for Louis and
I,
90 for Athanaze. Is it some nervous 90s,
I,
Roger? Or
I
just
was like, you know what? Well, Louis, I can see it. Look at he's a little younger to the game. After that, when you get to the 90s, you gotta figure out how to get to 100.
you have to. And the thing about it, I'm just looking at the game now and bit, and I'm happy for Justin Gray, who's gone to his 50.
Yes, yes.
So I was
I'm happy that he's there too because he's having a wonderful year. So I'm looking forward to see how far he will go. But you're right. I mean, don't get me to the 90s. I mean, 80s I can live with, but 90s,
and
97? Oh my God.
both of them played crazy shots. I mean, I think what's his name, Louis, because of the pressure and he hadn't faced a lot of the bowling, he just wanted to get it over with. I
Get it
think
over
so.
with. Yeah.
He went to try and hit the boundary, but then Athanaze, he played an uncharacteristic shot, a shot he hadn't played for all the whole day. He tried to play a fancy paddle sweep and just hit
Not a
Roger.
chance for tryouts.
Just do what got you there and
Exactly.
continue.
You're 90 now. Just do what got you here. 10 more to go.
Yeah, and disappointment with and this is the second time that Athanaze has gone into his 90s. I'm getting the
Yes.
last time he had a 92 not out, but
Yes.
then
Yes.
he yeah, he's 97 and 90. I felt it for those, and my friends on the WhatsApp group from St. Kitts, they all like were so disappointed. One guy said, "Wow, we have to put off the party till next time." I could imagine they were gonna have a big celebration at St. Kitts because the first condition,
Deservedly so.
yeah,
Deservedly so. I was looking
yeah,
forward to him getting it as well.
yeah, first condition to play for West Indies and then to get 100 is
And get 100, yeah. He got all the way to 97, couldn't make it over the line. But man,
can't
yeah, it would
stand
have been a huge celebration.
it. It would have been. West Indies has come back well, I think, or 318 for seven in this, pretty good. I think, as we just said, Justin Graves getting his first 50,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is good. I'm happy to see them a young man back in the West Indies setup because
Yes. Yes.
I think he was left out unjustly, in my opinion. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm still asking the question, and I still want to find out who selects the West Indies team.
Yeah. That's a mystery, Ingle. I don't know how to unlock that mystery. But
That's
yeah, we need to know.
yeah, we do. Looking at West Indies 11 starting in 11 round, Roger, and it's surprised that they went with the four fast bowlers and no spinners. I'm surprised there.
At first, yeah, at first I was like, what are they smoking over there? And I still believe they should have had a spinner in there, I must say. Because
Yeah,
these
yes.
fast bowlers, I mean, I really like Kamara Roach. I mean,
Roach, I don't think. I mean,
he's
he's
an
still,
elder, and he
yeah,
apparently does things in the locker room that they really need. But
mhm.
I was surprised they didn't put a spinner there.
Yeah, very surprised. I mean, Roach is, yeah, I don't think he's got the patience that he used to have, unless he's getting some assistance on the pitch. I don't know, but
He
he's a,
doesn't. He's good to have out there, but I don't think he has what he had 3 years ago.
maybe they're counting on his record against Bangladesh, which has been good, and at home also. So let's
Yeah,
see.
maybe,
He
maybe.
can. if he can do something special, but I'm not expecting it. I'm looking for both Josephs to step up and bowl very well and save
Yeah,
three.
Shamar and Alzari.
Yes, and three very quick bowlers we have with good pace, and then Kamaroch. Who knows? He might be the one getting the wickets because they tried to score off of him.
Of him, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I think it's a little more than medium pace right now, in my opinion, but I don't know.
yeah. So West Indies going along 319, and that match
Good stuff.
in progress, good going for West Indies. And the other Test match that's going is very crazy. Australia and India, 150 all out in
150. Okay,
wickets.
are we
And
talking about the big guys here?
yeah, and then Australia can only score 104.
When I saw them at like 60 for seven, I'm like, what is happening? What's going on with this pitch?
I mean, it was bouncy, but it just shows the technique is not there, and that's something I've argued with a lot of people because they could speak to coaches now, modern day coaches, and the ICC coach representative. The way they think now, they said is have to coach the modern way and let the players learn to develop themselves. But
Well,
I
yeah.
think you have to teach the basics first,
Yes, yes.
and they'll find their way.
True, true.
But yeah, nobody seemed to have an answer for this pitch.
So far,
Hazel,
yeah.
Mitchell Stark actually top scored for Australia with 26.
Wow.
Steve Smith and I mean Australia has a very good team.
Yeah,
Navashani, Smith, Travis Head,
that's why I'm
um,
surprised because I think the big guys are there.
Head there, and they're still not able to adapt. And I think in the first innings, when I watched a bit of it, it was really bouncy,
Yeah.
and New Zealand. I mean, India didn't have an answer. I mean,
No,
Kohli looks a bit lost.
they all
But
look lost to some
they all
extent, but
look
they're right. Yeah,
Peter Pan did the right thing. He attacked them, and it
yeah.
worked.
That's what I thought Kohli would have done.
So that match, but the second innings they're going good, 172 without loss.
It's leveling back out, Ingle.
The pitcher
Coming
settled,
back to the norm,
yeah, the pitcher settled down. So
and the
uh, we,
batsmen have settled in as well.
yes, India in ascendancy right now on that Test match
They
with
are,
a
they
lead of
are.
218. Quickly,
Yeah, let's see if they can take it. I think they sort of need to win something. They haven't looked so great recently.
that's true, definitely. And quickly, just to wrap up before we get into the others to track and field and soccer, just the top of the table for the WBBL, the
Yeah,
Women's Big Bash. Just Melbourne Renegades led by Haley
really.
Matthews.
Yeah,
You know, they're top the table and they're doing very well. And she has Bianca
Dalton is there with her too, right?
Dawson is there with her too.
Yeah,
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 so two of them have been going well.
yeah,
Haley's got she's in the top 10 in the run. I think she's at number 6 in runs scored.
yeah. And she's excited. She said to play Test cricket. So let's see.
Yes, West Indies is going to play Test cricket, and she said she's excited.
She's
So
excited for that
let's see
because
how. I think a lot of work is going to be needed
oh,
for them.
tons, I believe.
I'm
But I
hoping
mean, it's a good start.
it's a good start.
But I did read something from I think it's Stuart Clark. His name is Stuart Clark, I think it is.
Okay.
Who is saying that Test cricket is going to die if you don't have regular meetings between Australia, India, and England. You agree with that statement?
What he said, but I don't agree with the statement because I think the playing field is just coming back together. I don't think there's any outstanding, especially when a guy like Kohli and Rohit Sharma. India is not going to be as powerful as they were. And if
Yeah,
you look at it, I think all the teams are catching up right now in Test cricket. West Indies
it
do
is.
have a good Test cricket team.
It is.
I don't think there's any outstanding player that you can say, or so outstanding team that you're going to say that's not going to lose. So,
Yeah, sure, sure. I don't know. Is it, maybe I was thinking maybe it's from a support point of view to say
or
these
maybe
are
probably for so, and if it's a support point of view, I definitely can understand because
yeah,
everywhere you turn, someone starts a T10 or
yeah,
T20.
exactly,
Even
exactly.
some people are talking about T5 and all this nonsense.
Oh God,
I mean, goodness,
that's pushing it a little too far.
pushing it. Yeah, it's a five, F. Like that's ridiculous. But yeah, that's
Absolutely
how
ridiculous.
the thinking is.
Oh
So
boy.
that's well, the other thing that I had to talk about is we already discussed 50 years ago, Greenwich and Viv Richards.
Richards, yeah.
They both had their own different paths. Greenwich was, I think he's of Asian, but he lived most of his life in England.
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
he chose West Indies to play. I mean, elegance and Viv Richards, we know his fearless approach, right?
Master Blaster.
Masterfully. I mean, just watch him walking out, chewing his gum, and the bowlers got scared.
Yeah, they got nervous. They're like, oh my God, look at him coming out.
Yeah.
He's ready to hit me all over the park right now.
Contrasting stats of the career. Greenwich got 90 odd in his first innings, and Viv Richards failed,
Yes.
and it turned it around.
But Greenwich was pretty solid throughout his career as well,
Oh, yeah,
though.
he's been very solid. Yeah, he's spending most of his time in England now. He had some illness, but
Okay,
he's spending
okay.
most of his time there.
So
Yeah, that's it for me for cricket. I'm thinking of some track and field and a bit of soccer.
yes, yes. So switching over to the track and field, I think some money's finally going into the sport. You have the Grand Slam coming up,
Mhm.
where it's $30 million is going to be on show, and now World Athletics has announced their inaugural Ultimate Championship track meet. They're
Mhm.
even going to have a mixed 4x1. I don't know how that's going to work out, Ingo.
A
A
mixed four
mixed
by
four
one.
by one. It's going to be interesting to see how that would go. But I'd be excited to see who would win that. And a steeplechase mile. So right now it's a 3,000 steeplechase. It's going to be a steeplechase mile. So it's going to be held every other year, and it's going to have where the gold medalist is going to win $150,000.
Oh wow. So
It's like wow, wow. Right now you get $10,000 for winning in the Diamond League.
wow.
They're saying 150 for the winner. So this is going to be a huge thing. The first one is going to be in Budapest, September 11 to 13, 2026, and it will feature 26 individual events, 16 track, 10 on the field, and 2 relays. So it's a good move. I mean, it's something to look forward to from an athletics point of view. And I'm pretty sure if this goes well, then it would probably bring back the sport a bit because support for the sport has been waning. But I think with the Grand Slam coming and now this coming up, I think people have something to look forward to for track and field.
Yeah, I think that's something very good, and
It is.
it brings some excitement into the sport.
It should. It should. You know what? Money makes the mirror grow, as they say. And, as I can tell you, this amount of money that is being pumped in there, people are going to show, and big names are going to show, and the crowd is probably going to be there.
Hmm.
Something that has been missing for a little while. In some other track and field news, more administrative than anything else. So today is the J3 is in Jamaica's Track and Field Association. It's their annual meeting today, and I expected Garth Gale to return as for a second term. But I mean, the big question is he going to announce why he chose Puma as the Jamaica Administrative Association sponsor?
Yeah,
That's a political one, Ingle. I don't know, but
I'm
it,
sure he's going to be asked.
well, yeah. So I it'll be interesting to see what his
What
response
is
is
his
if he
thought?
responds.
Yeah,
So, but I'm actually looking forward to hear what he says about it because a lot of people are asking, why did you choose that when this other guy's offering way more than them? So, but they're saying his slate is coming back unopposed.
mm,
So, should be an easy victory for him. So, let's see how it goes and if he actually says what's going on there. In another one, I think it's crazy to see right now, but the U.S. Anti-Doping Association is going up against WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, and they're firing shots at each other, Ingo, big shots. So I think WADA is accusing the US of having not enough testing happening in the colleges, and then these same college athletes go to world championships, and so they sort of having an unfair advantage because they're not being tested properly before they go, and no one knows their true status and all of that stuff. So of course, USADA is not happy about that and says it's defamatory and unacceptable, and they're going at each other.
I'm surprised.
The World Athletics and the USA Athletics, two massive organizations, they're at war. And of course, the Privacy Commission in Canada is also going after water. So
Also,
I'm not sure
right. Yeah.
if it's a North American thing. So I don't know. Let's see how that one pencils out. But I need to fix it. It's not a good look at all. Not a good look. In some other news, one of my favorite athletes, Elaine Thompson Hera, she was spotted in Florida
Mhm.
And news started flying. Oh, she's changing camps and she's this and she's that. So I think it was Greg Horton, a former Jamaican. He's now Dr. Greg Horton. He's a former
Oh, yeah.
Jamaican quarter miler.
Yeah.
And he retracted it and says, you know what? Yes, Elaine is in Florida getting treatment for her Achilles injury, and she's not joining the tumbleweed track club. That's where Andre DeGrasse is. She's
Oh,
not
okay.
joining that club. You know, he said, yeah, she may have associates, friends in that camp, but let it be heard very clear, and I'm setting the record straight. Elaine has not found a new home, plain and simple. So he was the first one who broke it that she's there and she's changing camps and all of that stuff because it already was announced that she's going to Freno, MVP in Jamaica. So, like, what is he talking about?
Right.
The rumor mills, Ingle, the rumor mills, I tell you.
So once you're spotted anywhere, rumors
Yeah,
start. Yeah.
you can't go anywhere. It's like, oh, yeah, he's over there doing something. No, she's getting treatment for injury and she's going back to Jamaica when she's done. She's just hanging out with friends. She's not allowed to do that anymore? Absolutely crazy. And another one, quick one. Let's see Tobago. I mean, there's a lot of talk about him. He's probably going to win World Athlete of the Year and all of that stuff. So who knows? But Olympic champion Tobago is saying, you know what? He's ready to inspire the next generation of African athletes, and going to let his legs do the talking. But a lot of people feel, I'm not sure if you're in that camping, that Africa is just untapped when it comes to the talent for track and field. And do you think Tobago is opening up that box now, and you're going to see a bunch of African athletes coming up?
Probably because most of the time we think of African, I think of long distance. But then now that he's broken that um, barrier, I guess you want to say that you can sprint and everything. You're going to probably see a lot more athletes coming from there.
I believe so
I
too. And
think
even
it's
Kenya had Omanyala, so
yes,
he's a big guy. But yeah, he sprints well. He ran 9.8. So you
yeah,
know what? Look out for them. Look out
yeah.
for them. You just need one to inspire you. Both inspired all of Jamaica, and all of a sudden everybody's a fast sprinter. So I think Tobago is going to do the same, and in the next few years, Africa is going to be on the map in sprinting.
Yeah, I think so. We have to look forward to that, and maybe the Caribbean will start have long distance instead.
I don't know about that one.
I just want to keep bringing the sprinters.
England, I mean, you're from the Caribbean. Caribbean people are too lazy to run those long distances, man.
Yeah, that's true.
That is way too far. What are you talking about? A mile? Give me
A
100.
mile,
I'm good.
yeah, a quick sprint and I'm done.
I'm done. So I think
Yeah.
that's the biggest problem. But you never know. They have some good long distance athletes in the Caribbean, and I think coaching and opportunity is going to get them further, but it's going to take a little while and a lot of resources and commitment before we're going to see a change in that direction. But sprinting for sure. We have that lockdown right now.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Anything else on track and field?
No, that's it. It's not a lot happening. Kind
All
of
right.
thing.
So let's switch over to football. So, on Monday we had Jamaica taking on the USA. They were down 1-0 after leg one, and by halftime, USA was up 3-0. Jamaica did score 2 goals, but they did lose to the USA 4-2, and they're knocked out of the Nations League. They're going to have to play a qualifying competition next March to see if they're going to make it to the Gold Cup. But for now, they're out of the Nations League. But
Mhm.
Canada, they're on their roll. They're on their way. So they defeated Suriname 3-0 at the BMO Field.
Oh, yeah.
So they're on their way, and go Canada, go!
Yeah, they played well.
They
Yeah,
have, and they're looking good. They're looking good. So give them some credit for that. In some other Canadian news, I think Canadian soccer has said the under 20s women coach Cindy Tai, she'll be the interim coach for the senior team, the Canadian women's national team, until they figure out who they're going to use as a head coach, since they got rid of Bev Priestman. So I don't know much about her as a coach, but let's see how she does. It's a big role to fill because Canada is a top 10 world soccer team for females. So anybody coming in is going to have a huge thing to overcome in terms of what they have to deliver and the expectations for a team ranked that high. So
I think we'll find out shortly because she had two with
two
Iceland
friendlies coming up
coming up. Yeah.
very soon. And she has some injuries out there too, which is not going to help her. But wish her all the best. I wish her all the best. It's an unfortunate way for her to get in, but let's see how it goes for her.
For sure.
And back to our favorite Jamaican striker, Khadija Bunny Shaw. She was scoring 2 goals as in the Champions League for her Manchester City as they played against the Swedish side Hammerley on Thursday. But after she scored the second goal, she was there celebrating, apparently a little too much. And her animated celebration in front of the home fans, she was hit with an object from the stands. Can you believe that?
Too much of those things are happening
It's
nowadays.
not supposed to happen.
It's happening.
Although she did receive a yellow card
Mm-hmm.
for her unsporting conduct, they said. So I don't know how bad that celebration was, but no matter what she's doing, she's not supposed to get hit from the stands with a
No, you're not supposed to. And it happens to a lot of black players, I must say.
exactly in these white countries. So it was very unfortunate to see that happen. And right now, she's a world superstar. She's the best striker in England and leading striker and everything. So everybody knows who she is. So she shouldn't be treated that way by any crowd. So very, 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 very unfortunate.
It is.
Talking about unfortunate, not getting into politics, but the war in the Middle East, Lebanon's 19-year-old soccer sensation, she got hit by shrapnel from one of those Israeli bombs in a Beirut suburb,
Wow.
suffered severe brain injuries, and she's now in a coma.
Oh, that's so sad. I didn't hear about that. But it's we had the war that this morning I woke up, I turned on the news and it said the first thing I saw was Israel making strikes on Lebanon again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, I mean, she's only 19.
She's 19, yeah.
19, and to see her, and she's their best player at 19, and now she's in a coma. Very unfortunate. My thoughts and prayers go out to her family and all of that. So we will show that go. And finally, over in Trinidad, Dwight York is saying, "Yay! They're changing how someone can represent the country. So they're changing their citizenship laws to allow, if your grandfather or your grandparents is from the country, you can represent the country. Right now, you have to be a born parent there. So big change, and he thinks it's going to help their World Cup squad. So definitely looking forward to see exactly how that is going to go in the near future, and if Trinidad's team is going to take over with all these new recruits that are going to come in. Anyway, that's it for Love Bay. Oh, you're back?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
Now we're just talking about Dwight York because they're changing the citizenship, or they proposed to change the citizenship laws in Trinidad to allow you to represent the country if your grandparents were born there, not just your parents.
Oh, wow.
So he's saying a lot of people are going to be able to play for Trinidad now, so we're going to have a winning soccer team.
That's how it is in St. Kitts, so that's why we have they started to play. And as you said, St. Kitts, they got Cuba came back and gave them a whipping the next.
I was a little surprised at that. Disappointed. I wanted to see you guys do something.
Yeah, but Cuba said no, we're not taking that.
I know.
Yeah. Well, everybody be safe. Have a good weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. See you guys.